Well, I thought I revealed all of my secrets, gave you all of my best art hacks, but you know what? I'm feeling generous, and I got a few more for you. Greetings everyone, welcome to the underground lair where we bring our creations to life. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. I am a professional illustrator, designer, and mad creator because let's face it, you have to be a little crazy to do this thing called art. So today in this video we are going to get a little crazy as we unveil some unorthodox tips, tricks, methods, art hacks if you will, that you're going to be able to use in your own comic making process. Now these are all traditional tips, and although I do create digital artwork on this channel and I will be putting out more digital content for you guys, when I think of art hacks, I think more physical media, because an art hack to me is something, it's like a roundabout way of doing something. It's a different way to look at something. It's sort of maybe a cheaper way to do it, but it's not necessarily like, oh, use this keyboard shortcut, because the thing is, if a keyboard shortcut is programmed into the software, it's intended to be used. It's not really a hack. You know, it's just something that you should know about, and those things are great to know, but I don't really look at them as hacks. I look at, you know, something physical as a hack. None of the art hacks that I'm going to give you today are using materials the way they're intended to be used. This is kind of out of the box thinking, roundabout ways to do things. They're hacks. And they're just that. So now that you know what this video is and what it isn't, let's get into 10 art hacks that you can use to create your comic book artwork.
All right, let's begin with hack number 1, the hidden sharpener. So I use these lead holders. If you ever use them, I highly recommend them. These are Statler's here, but they come with a special pencil sharpener, as you can see, and they don't really work with any other pencils other than these. But the pencil sharpeners are a little bulky. You don't always carry them with you. So what do you do? Because they're this special kind of pencil sharpener. Well, what many people don't realize is on the end of the pencil, the little thing you push down to make the lead come out is actually a pencil sharpener. You can pull that off and you can use it to sharpen your pencil. And it works great in a pinch. Probably not as efficient as the standard lead holder sharpener, but it works great in a pinch. Speaking of pencil sharpeners, let's move on to hack number 2, the pencil shavings catcher. So these are nice little sharpeners, but the problem is they can just get shavings all over the place. But what you can do is you can build a catcher. Now you've seen these with, a lot of times you find these with some of the cheaper pencil sharpeners. For some reason, the good ones don't usually have them. But you can make one relatively easy by just drilling a hole in the top. Use a drill bit the size of the pencil sharpener hole, line that up, put a little bit of hot glue on it, then you're going to stick the pencil sharpener on there. And it's also a good idea, once you get that into place, go over it in the size and everything. Make sure you get a really nice good bond there. And I'm using a little glass jar, but you can use pretty much anything. You can use prescription bottles, whatever works, whatever you have on hand, as long as the pencil sharpener will fit in there. Glue that on there, and as you can see, it works like a charm. It's going to catch all of those pencil shavings, and it's going to save you a lot of headache in the future. Hack number 3 is the mirror test. So it's a good idea to carry it with you, a little compact mirror that you can check. You can check your reverse images, because a lot of times your artwork, they may look right just by looking at it, but you have to kind of look at it at a different angle to make sure everything lines up, and that's what I'm doing here. Mirrors are also great for photo reference. This is an old animator trick, having a mirror at your desk, but you can look at it, make different expressions, and find the expression you like, and sketch it out in pencil. Hack number 4, zip it into place. Now, if you work on an angled surface, your pencil is going to roll around, and that's kind of a hassle. You don't want to constantly be losing your pencil. So one thing that you can do, really easy, if you've got a zip tie around, just wrap a zip tie around your pencil, cut it off, and watch what happens when you set it on the surface. It doesn't roll. It just creates a nice little stopper. Really easy to do. Most people have zip ties around. The other thing you could do is you could take 2 pencils together and just connect them together with a couple of zip ties like you see here. We're just going to put one on one side and one on the other to balance them out. Then we'll go ahead and get our scissors. We'll cut those right off. And then not only will it not roll, but you can flip it around and you can use 2 different kinds of pencils without having to switch back and forth. Pretty nice. We've reached the halfway point. Hack number 5, find your center. It's really easy to find the center of your page. You don't even really have to measure it out. Just start with a ruler from each corner on both sides, and then just draw a little X, and then you'll find your center there, and then from there you can divide your page in half. The other thing you can do is draw a diagonal line, and then you can either use a triangle, or I've got a rolling ruler here. Just draw a straight line up and down or across, connecting to that diagonal line, and you'll figure out how to scale up or down your page in proportion. It works perfect every time. This is a trick I always use. It's just a great way to figure out proportions and find that center of the page. Hack number 6, the blade sharpener. One tool that a lot of comic book artists use is a paper cutter. And the problem is they do get dull after a while. They come with these little blades, depending on the kind you have. They can be expensive to replace. But you don't always have to purchase a new blade every time they get dull. One thing you can do is just get some tinfoil. Everyone's got tinfoil around. Just take that tinfoil, fold it up a few times, and then you're just going to put it through your paper cutter the same way you would paper. Just run that cutter through a number of times over and over again, and as you do this, your blade will start to get sharper and sharper, and before you know it, you can just take your paper, run through it. It's going to give you a really nice clean cut. And now hack number 7, the dummy book. This is a great tip, especially if you're doing mini comics. A lot of times comics they'll collate those, like when you send them out to a printer, they'll figure all that out for you. But if you're making mini comics, you have to print them in a certain way, and it's just not page 1, page 2, page 3. So it gets a little confusing when you try to figure that out in your head. At least it does to me. So what I do is I take just some 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, whatever the amount you need. And everything is done in increments of 4, so keep that in mind. So if you need 8 pages, then you're going to have 2 pages of 8.5 by 11. Anyway, you take those, you fold them up, and then you just start numbering them, starting with your cover, then the inside cover, then 1, 2, 3, 4, however many you're going to do, and all the way to the back cover. Once you fill that in, then you've got it. And then what you can do is you just can pull those apart, and you can see how they line up, so you know how to put those into production, so that when you fold them, when you collate them, when you put them all together, you'll have no mistakes and your comic will turn out great. Here is hack number 8, the 3-pencil compass. So this is a little hack that you can use with just items you have around the house. If you don't happen to have a compass or you can't find it, I know I lose mine all the time, but if you have 3 pencils, a few rubber bands, and I'm using just like a binder clip to hold them all together, you go ahead and then you can use, I'm using a shorter pencil for the middle, but you can use this the same size pencil. It doesn't really matter if it overlaps a little bit, but you just connect those all together with the rubber bands. Then you can take the clip off, and then just works just like a regular compass, and you can draw some great circles just with things you have around the house. We are almost there. This is hack number 9, low tack masking tape. So right here, what you see me using is photo tape or artist tape. It's a special low tack tape, but it's a little pricey. You don't always have it at hand. A lot of people just use masking tape, but the problem with regular masking tape, even this special painter's tape, which is a little better than most masking tape, but still it can, it's got a little bit of a heavy tack. When you pull it off, as you can see, there's a little piece of the paper there. That's not too bad, but sometimes it can get worse. One thing you can do with regular masking tape is just take it and stick it to either a shirt or your pant leg, and the fibers off of that will take away some of the tack. So when you stick it right on your paper, you can pull it off real easy. It'll hold down your paper, but it won't pull up or ruin your artwork. All right, we reach hack number 10, Prisma Fusion. Now, Prisma colors are great. I love using them. The problem is, what can happen is if you drop one, or even if they're dropped in shipping, it splinters all the way through the barrel of that pencil, and when you sharpen it, it just breaks apart, and it's almost unusable. Fortunately, there's an easy way to repair them, and that is just putting them in your oven at a low setting at like 210 degrees Fahrenheit, and put those in there for like 8 to 10 minutes, and when they're done, you pull them out. It will melt the wax inside, or whatever's inside the Prismacolor. I think it's wax, but it will melt that together, refuse it, and then it works. It works just like new again, and you don't have to worry about that. So just a little hack that I think is going to help you guys out. All right, I got a bonus hack for you, and that is my Make Your Own Comics workbook. This may be a little self-serving, but I think these are tools that are really helpful for comic book artists. This one is a thumbnail guide. It's got all these guides for thumbnails, so you don't have to rule them out yourself. Here's another one that's going to help you learn the art of lettering. It's got lettering guides based on Ames lettering guides. This one is all in word balloons, so you can practice drawing in word balloons. Make sure you can line those all up. Here's one with just blank panels, so you don't have to draw out all those panels. Just a good way to get started. It'll provide a little information, a little inspiration. And here's another one if you want to learn how to draw heroes. I've got male and female. This is the female hero with turnaround, so you can draw different female characters. I've got males. I've got both of them together, and I've got tons of these books. There's a whole series of them. These are just a small sample. Another great hack for making comics.
All right, I hope those art hacks were helpful. If you want more art hacks from me, go up here. I've got a playlist up here. Some of the other art hacks, there are some really good ones in there. Definitely check that out. Also remember, like, subscribe, hit that bell if you want more art, inspiration, and advice here on YouTube. If you're interested in my comic book workbooks or any of the other tools or supplies that I mentioned in this video, check those out. There will be links in the description. Also, if you have your own art hacks, let me know. Leave those in the comment section. I'm really anxious to hear what you guys have that maybe I haven't even heard of. And who knows, maybe I'll feature them in another video. But until then, I'll see you guys later. That is all.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Also, you can follow me at Serkworks on social media, and now you can support the work that I do on Patreon. If you like making comics, then go to Serkworks.com and pick up the Comic Maker Starter Kit. It's packed full of fonts, brushes, templates, and more, and best of all, it's totally free.